things that kind of makes me giggle with this is I've done this to a truck before. My 87 Dodge Dakota came with really tiny headlights, and so I went to the junkyard and I cut out the buckets, which is just all the sheet metal behind that bucket. I cut out that from it was an Econoline 150 Ford van, and that way I could get all these parts and pieces and put them into my Dodge Dakota, so my Dodge Dakota would have more powerful H4 large size headlights. It's not that hard with these trucks because everything's already pre-stamped, pre-cut and everything. You've already got the holes for your spring in there. I had to drill a hole here because it comes both sides. I mean, they're either one. You pick which side you're going to use, put a hole in it. They didn't put a hole for you. Those holes are for the retention bezel. And then you get these adjuster pieces here. It's all slotted up for them, and that's how it'll adjust on those two axes, up and down, side to side. Not too hard to do. The only thing you're really looking out for here is this. The blue, and I got this from Dorman. So Dorman, there's your part number, 84790. But they said they're the high amperage ones. I don't need high amperage so much, but this is what was available and easy to find. The blue on the top, so all your diagrams show you from this end, from the back side of it. Ground is on this side, blue on the top is low beam, red on the side is high beam. So blue low beam, red high beam. And all I got to do is hack into, and I'll save these connectors in case I ever want to go back. Don't know if I will, but knowing what I know about factory wiring, that light green is high beam, the tan is low beam, and that's the way it is on the GMs. So all I got to do is hack this together. Both of these are ground, so I'll put them together on that one. Will be solid. Same thing on both sides. Now, because this is my headlights, I'm using belts and suspenders here. The heat shrink crimper type connectors, and then another layer of heat shrink on top of that. I don't want any sort of corrosion or leakage in here. I want my lights to work, because my aux beams have been flickering. 5-6 years I've had them. They've done pretty good, maybe more than that, 7 or 8 even. They've done pretty good, but now they're flickering, so that's one of the reasons to change this. But yeah, belts and suspenders make this as waterproof and complete as I can. I know it's middle of the day, but you can see it's working. I checked both high beams and low beams. Yeah, marker lights are glowing. You see in there, basic halogen light bulbs. That's not how it's gonna stay. I just did that to make sure it's all working. Seems the relay I have that would do the 4-way all on does work as well. So when you have the 2 lights up here instead of this big one, either the high beam or the low beam one is on, and you get a relay system in there that makes them both stay on with the high beams. I think this is doing the same exact thing because I still have that wired in, and that was one of my biggest curiosities about this. I don't think I have to change a thing about that wiring. I'm good to go as is. So driving around with it the last couple nights, these things were way off as far as the aiming goes. These screws that I got from LMC truck were too short. You notice, can you see there's a lot more shank there than there was on this one, right? So these are a little bit longer. Found those at O'Reilly's. Hopefully now the aiming is better, because I was way off. This thing was shooting way to the sky. That one was shooting into the ditches. So hopefully this fixes it. And if you thought I was going to leave them in these Ching Chong, well, let's be honest here, Tongs RAM, American components, Russian components, all made in Taiwan. If you thought I was going to leave them that way, yeah, you haven't been paying attention enough. Philips, decent name brand, I suppose. LED lights, I'm going to put those in. These ones are interesting because the low beam was that traditional dull yellow halogen type, but high beam was clear, bright white light. It was weird. But I'm gonna go with these. Powerful, cool white light. Interesting enough, nice long tail here because I'm kind of short on my tail there. All I really needed was the buckets, and these buckets came with those halogens, so I used them at first. Now I got these LEDs, I'm gonna put them in, and they're just a simple replacement. Bracket comes in, push it out a little bit in there just so I got room, but fits in the regular H4 plugs. A little bit of leads are nice, but yeah, here we go. All right, there we go. We've got it in. So these trucks are very modular. It's not hard to swap between different styles of grills. Whichever one you like the best, you can do pretty easily. But that gets me the work truck grill, gives more clearance up there. the bigger headlights. LEDs were not hard on this one either, because again, that is a very standard style light. Should find those just about anywhere you look. And those ones weren't that expensive at all. Like I said, my aux beam ones were flickering already, and they'd done 5-6 years of service, so it's probably time anyway. But yeah, if you come this far, appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Driving at night, what I do like is they have a very good cutoff line. It's good white LED light. It's definitely better than those Tongs Ram Taiwanese regular halogen ones were. I'll be honest, it's not the same as the other ones. Those ones threw out a lot more light everywhere. It's curious to me. So the light's only out of the top, not the bottom. Bottom's gonna throw more when I turn on the high beams. High beam's on, a little bit more light, and I'm doing just the LED headlights, not my off-road lights. Now it does work just like the 4-ways did before, that all 4 are staying on, because I still have that relay kit in there, which is an interesting answer if you've got this sort of a setup, that yes, you can do that. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Puts out decent light, nice white light, way better than those other ones were.